Before the whistle, before the rails, before Main Street and courthouse tales, there were pines and red clay roads, quiet prayers where Wrightsboro rose. Old rock house standing through the years, stone and memories still standing here. Long before the town would shine, history was marking Thompson time. First there was Wrightsboro, Quaker ground, simple faith and a stubborn sound. Fields and wagons, work and grace, Georgia wind on an older place. The little river kept rolling by, seasons turned beneath the sky, and every hand that cleared that land left a mark time still understands. Oh, Thompson, Georgia time, railroad steel and church bell chime, red clay heart with a soul that sings, built on work and weathered dreams. From Wrightsboro days to downtown lights, from depot calls to Camellia nights, every mile and every line runs through Thompson, Georgia time. Then the railroad changed it all, smoke and iron, the engines call. In 1837 the depot came, and Slashes was the early name. In 1853 the town was known for J. Edgar Thompson, far from home. In 1854 it was made a town, and the tracks brought the wide world down. Stores and hotels started to rise, promise growing before their eyes. Then fire came in 86, and again in 88 came the same hard hit. But the people here don't stay laid low, they rebuild strong when the hard winds blow. Brick by brick and hand by hand, they built this town again to stand. Oh, Thompson, Georgia time, railroad steel and church bell chime, red clay heart with a soul that sings, built on work and weathered dreams. From Wrightsboro days to downtown lights, from depot calls to Camellia nights, every mile and every line runs through Thompson, Georgia time. McDuffie County drew the line, and in 1870 came Thompson's time. The county seat was planted here, and the town stepped forward year by year. Telephone lines in 1901, new voices traveling one by one. Water, power, streets and trade, a stronger town was slowly made. Thomas C. Watson rose from here, a thunder voice folks still can hear. Love him or not, his name remains in Georgia talk and public names. He pushed for mail on country roads, hope delivered to distant homes. History's never simple or clean, but every town keeps all its seen. Then came music from these streets, blind Willie McTell and 12-string grief, a sound from Thompson rolling wide like a midnight train through the countryside. From Happy Valley to Slages far, he carried this town in every bar. That blues still hums when evening falls, like a ghost in the depot walls. The city's more than maps and signs, more than numbers, dates and lines. It's football lights and Sunday clothes, front porch talk and Camellia's glow. It's teachers, farmers, workers, preachers, parents, dreamers, hometown keepers, all the souls through loss and pride, who kept Thompson alive through time. Oh, Thompson, Georgia time, railroad steel and church bell chime, red clay heart with a soul that sings, beats that old Thompson time. Still beats that old Thompson time.
Before the whistle, before the rails, before Main Street and courthouse tales, there were pines and red clay roads, quiet prayers where Wrightsboro rose. Old rock house standing through the years, stone and memory still standing here. Long before the town would shine, history was marking Thompson time. First there was Wrightsboro Quaker ground, simple faith and a stubborn sound, fields and wagons, work and grace, Georgia wind on an older place. The little river kept rolling by, seasons turned beneath the sky, and every hand that cleared that land left a mark time still understands. Old Thompson, Georgia time, railroad, steel, and church bell chime, red clay heart with a soul that sings, built on work and weathered dreams. From Wrightsboro days to downtown lights, from depot calls to chameleon nights, every mile and every line runs through Thompson, Georgia time. Then the railroad changed it all, smoke and iron, the engines call. In 1837 the depot came, and Slashes was the early name. In 1853 the town was known for J. Edgar Thompson, far from home. In 1854 it was made a town, and the tracks brought the wide world down. Stores and hotels started to rise, province growing before their eyes. And fire came in 86, and again in 88 came the same hard hit. But the people here don't stay laid low, they rebuild strong when the hard winds blow. Brick by brick and hand by hand, they built this town again to stand. Oh, Thompson, Georgia time, railroad, steel, and church bell chime, red clay heart with a soul that sings, built on work and weathered dreams. From Wrightsboro days to downtown lights, from depot calls to chameleon nights, every mile and every line runs through Thompson, Georgia time. Big Duffy County drew the line, and in 1870 came Thompson's time. The county seat was planted here, and the town stepped forward year by year. Telephone lines in 1901, new voices traveling one by one. Water, power, streets, and trade, a stronger town was slowly made. Thomas E. Watson rose from here, a thunder voice folks still can hear. Love him or not, his name remains in Georgia talk and public names. He pushed for mail on country roads, hope delivered to distant homes. History's never simple or clean, but every town keeps all it's seen. Then came music from these streets, Blind Willie McTell and 12-string grief, a sound from Thompson rolling wide like a midnight train through the countryside. From Happy Valley to stages far, he carried this town in every bar. That blue still hums when evening falls, like a ghost in the depot walls. A city's more than maps and signs, more than numbers, dates and lines. It's football lights lights and Sunday clothes, front porch talk and camellias glow. It's teachers, farmers, workers, preachers, parents, dreamers, hometown keepers, all the souls through loss and pride who kept Thompson alive through time. Oh, Thompson, Georgia time, railroad, steel, and church bell chime. Red clay heart with a soul that sings, built on work and weathered dreams. From Wrightsboro days to downtown lights, from depot calls to chameleon nights. Every mile and every line runs through Thompson, Georgia time. Thompson time, red clay shine, old roots holding through the years. Train songs, church bells, chameleon nights, memories stronger than our fears. From the rock house stone to the county line, still beats that old Thompson time. Still beats that old Thompson time.
Before the whistle, before the rails, before Main Street and courthouse tales, there were pines and red clay roads, quiet prayers were Wrightsboro roads. Old rock house standing through the years, stone and memory still standing here. Long before the town would shine, history was marking Thompson time. First there was a Wrightsboro Quaker ground, simple faith and a stubborn sound. Fields and wagons, work and grace, Georgia wind on an older place. The little river kept rolling by, seasons turned beneath the sky, and every hand that cleared that land left a mark time still understands. You can still hear the echoes calling through the pines and through the night. Old roots holding, never falling, waiting for the rails and light. Oh, Thompson time, red clay heart and a soul that shines. Railroad steel and the church bells ring. This old town still makes us sing. From the rock house stone to the downtown lights, from depot days to chameleon nights, every road and every sign leads back home to Thompson time. Then the railroad came like thunder rolling, iron wheels and a brand new name. From the stop they called old slashes to Thompson rising in the flame. In 1854 the town stood tall and the wide world started rolling in. Storefront glass and hotel windows, a new Georgia story could begin. Then the fires came hard and sudden, tried to bring the whole town down. But the people here are built for rebuilding, brick by brick they saved this town. When McDuffie drew its borders, Thompson took the
Well, it's 10 o'clock, so welcome this morning to the Wednesday, June 3rd, regular commission meeting. We'll call this meeting to order. Welcome to all in attendance. We'll begin with an invocation. Commissioner Favors.
Father, we ask you'll walk with us as we journey through this meeting. Ask your blessings upon decisions that be made and the wisdom that need to be imparted. In the name of Jesus, our Christ, our prayer. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First is today's approvals. The first item being of today's agenda. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Vice Chairman Wilson.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 2 are 2 sets of minutes. One regular session, May 19th, and then an executive session affidavit from the same meeting, May 19th.
Mr. Chairman, taking both city at one time, I move for approval.
Vice Chairman Wilson has moved to approve both sets. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move right on into the information announcements today. The first being of the fall sports early registration. Early registration began June 1st and goes through June 14th for football, flag football, cheer, and soccer. Regular registration will be June 15th to August 9th. Anybody interested in signing up can contact the Recreation Department. Item number 4 is the Bernice Brown Park ceremony. We discussed this other night at work session. This was something that the City Council, Thompson City Council, moved forward with 2019. The sign has been installed naming that Bernice Brown Park. That is over off Pitt Street. And that ceremony will be held June 22nd at 10:30. So the public is invited to attend. Staff reports. We'll move into item number 5, county manager's comments.
I believe the clerk, thank you, Mr. Chair, but I believe the clerk had handed you some last minute updates from a couple of the departments. And I wanted to thank the tax commissioner. We worked a little bit. I know from our work session, we discussed the potential of the digest either being a little bit less or being flat. After speaking with her, we talked to GMAS again. And while some of the values did go down, I believe the overall reassessment did balance that out. So probably not quite the alarm that I shared Monday, but still I wouldn't plan on, the digest growing by leaps and bounds. We were able to add some stuff back in there. And again, they're still doing the final iteration on their numbers with respect to the I think Kuva
and the conservation and the FLIPA and all of that. They're scared to release those numbers to us. So that's why they had him take those out originally. So we put them back in and we still have some growth, but don't anticipate a whole lot.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make that clarification. We did just, look at, what the floss proceeds were for the 6 months that the state requires us. So you're looking about, again, a little over $1 million. So that's roughly equivalent to a meal that we'll be able to apply some fashion towards tax relief. So I just wanted to update you on that. And that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Burton. Thank you to our tax commissioner as well. We'll move on to appointments and reappointments. The first item, or the only reappointment today, is consideration to reappoint Harris Richards to the Recreation Advisory Board. Again, we discussed this at the work session the other night. Mr. Richards reached out to me, said he would like to continue serving, and so that is the recommendation today, to reappoint Mr. Richards. Is there a motion to make this reappointment?
Can I move for approval?
Vice Chairman Wilson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
seconded by Commissioner Holloman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? New business today, item number 7 is the first reading of ordinance 2026-001 regarding data centers. Does not need approval today. This is the first reading of this ordinance amendment. We've talked about this at several work sessions. This ordinance defines the standards for a data center, just like in our current code of ordinances, we have special development standards for different types of businesses and uses of property. This outlines the parameters, the rules, and that data center applications must be approved by the board by special exception, going before the planning board first. So the first reading is today. That ordinance is attached. Anybody who has any questions can reach out to our county manager or any of the elected officials, planning, community development department as well. The second reading will be June 16th. Is there any discussion on this item? If not, we'll move to item number 8, which is
I will need a motion. I will need a vote, because if the vote was to fail, it would not move to second reading.
Okay.
So in the adoption of an ordinance, we'll need a vote.
Is there a motion to move this to a second reading on June 16th?
So move.
Vice Chairman Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor? Item number 8 is first reading of ordinance 2026-002, animal control. Again, we've talked about this at several commission meetings. Our current animal control ordinance is pretty much lacking. There's no defined ordinance about the animal shelter and animal control. And so our Animal Services Director has taken some ordinances and done some research, and they've prepared an ordinance here that outlines the policies and procedures of the shelter and animal control. The city has reviewed this as well. I think they're in conjunction with us on this, so we'll need a motion to move this forward as well to June 16th for a second reading.
So move.
Second.
Vice Chairman Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 9 is the first reading of ordinance 2026-003 for special events. Again, this started last year based off of the property in front of the Brickyard and some other incidents that have happened around the county. This just outlines special event procedures and notification to the Community Development Office, Sheriff's Office, and other essential services like EMS and fire. The ordinance is attached. Any questions can be directed to the county manager or to the Community Development Office on that as well. If there's no, we'll need a motion to move this forward to the June 16th meeting for second reading as well.
So move.
Second.
Vice Chairman Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, item number 10, we'll turn over to the Tax Commissioner for the ACO report for May 2026.
Okay, I removed $1,975.23 from the 2005 property tax digest, and that also includes refunds from 23 and 24 for one taxpayer. No changes to the mobile home digest.
Thank you, Tax Commissioner Thomas. Is there a motion to approve this report?
So move.
Vice Chairman Wilson,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 11 is the timber relief for May 2026.
For 2024, the fourth quarter, I'm asking for approval to refund $111.23.
Yes, ma'am. Is there a motion to approve this timber relief report?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Favors, seconded by Vice Chairman Wilson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 12 is consideration to approve the use of the Government Center Complex for Freedom Blast 2026 event. The letter is attached. We talked about this again at work session the other night. This is the Chamber of Commerce's annual request to use the Government Center grounds for the Freedom Blast. The event will be held Thursday, July 2nd from 6 to 10, and they have coordinated with the county manager to set up a little prior to that event and not conflict with work that day. So they've worked all that out Is there a motion to approve this request?
Sure, I move for approval.
Vice Chairman Wilson. Move for approval.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 13 is consideration to approve health insurance rates. And, let's see here. So we discussed this at work session the other night. There are several different plans. I think the recommendation was to go with the second page, which was the 90, 70, 80, 70 share. Last year, if you remember, last year the county absorbed the entire cost of the increase. The recommendation is to take the 90, 70, 80, 70 plan. Is there a motion to approve this?
And just to, for the remainder of the year, the county would be paying, absorbing $356,000 for this plan. Originally, we had budgeted $2.8 million. The new cost of the plan is $3.8. That's $1 million and some change difference. And after you take out some adjustments, some employees do not participate in the plan. We might could back out around 40 to 45,000, and with their contributions, the county's out of pocket for the entire budget year would be 356,000. So to get from July to December, you're looking at 168,000.
So that increase would come out of reserves?
Yes.
Unless we find it in the budget
Yes,
elsewhere?
unless we find it in the budget. If you'll remember back from the budget last year, there's roughly almost $1 million that we use to balance the budget. So that's roughly $1 million. We use that to balance the budget because the raises, the 5% cost of living was roughly $500,000, and then there was a $500,000 transfer from the general fund over to fire. So I just wanted to refresh everyone's memory on that we are, what you decide is we'll have a reflection on the reserve account at the end of the year, unless we have a better year and not have to transfer as much out to fire. Or, I'm going to implore the department heads to start, finding ways, to save money throughout the rest of the year.
And then, so, not to get into too much discussion on this, but the fire budget for 2025 that was set at 24 was a pretty big jump in the fire budget.
It was.
And this year we brought it back down
Correct.
by several $100,000.
Yeah, there was several line items that we were able to cut back.
So, with that being said, we're not looking at as big of a transfer this year as what was required last year to make it whole.
No, last year it was $1 million and
1.3.
1.3 was what it was, and we're down to 400. 454,000.
Thank you. Is there a motion for approval? Is there,
You did the whole figure change?
sir?
Did the figure change at 90? 97 to 87?
Did the what change?
That changed the three figures you gave. Get the 90.
90%, 70%, 80, and 70?
Yeah.
Did what figure change?
Did they change?
Did-
From what he said.
I don't understand.
I think the year before, I think we're going from the 96 down to the 90. Well, Sammy, there was 96, now they're gonna go down to the 90, 70. And,
If you're asking if the percentage changed, yes, by
Yeah.
6%.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in the past, the government's portion, the county's portion, they paid 96% of employee only. And this new one we're proposing would be
This
90%.
proposal would be 90%.
Yeah, so that be changed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
And this is the Blue Cross.
Blue Cross.
Correct, this
Cross
is Anthem, Blue Cross, Blue
That's
Shield.
what they wanted.
Yes.
Changing from the Crumdale to Blue Cross.
Yeah. So move.
All right. Motion was made by Commissioner Favors,
So,
seconded by Vice Chairman Wilson. All in favor?
Uh,
Any opposed? Item number 14 is the consideration to approve the cost of living adjustment. We discussed this at the work session the other night as well.
So move.
second.
Can you make a motion of what the cost of living adjustment? There was three options, I think, or
I think
four
5%.
options, excuse me.
I'm sorry, but I think the one we decided on the other night was 5%.
Okay. 5% at the 13 or the 15 pay periods.
Yeah, we'll just need direction on,
Yeah, cause see,
on when to start it, if we start it now or July the 1st and the percentage.
it's, page 82, Commissioner Favors, it's, there was a breakdown of options, 5%, 3%, 2.5%, and then to start it with 15 pay periods left or 13 pay periods left throughout the year. The 13 pay periods was July 1st, right?
Correct.
So that would, 15 pay periods, I guess, would take effect immediately. July 1st would be the 13 pay periods.
I don't have any problem. We waited and they got to receive nothing. 5% immediately.
So my recommendation, it was staff, did y'all have a recommendation as far as the pay periods? Is it going to affect changing payroll? All right, we have this is a pay period this week, isn't it?
Next week is pay
Next
period.
week.
Yeah, next week. It'll take them a day or two to get the rates adjusted.
So the motion is to
The 5%
take the 5% at 15 pay periods.
and start immediately, yeah.
And the second was from Vice Chairman Wilson. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Item number 15, consideration to approve budget amendments. We discussed these the other night. Pam, do you want to go over those again?
You want me to go line by line again? Or,
If you don't mind.
the first set of amendments for the general fund increases the county's budget by $564,295. In this amendment, you'll see a lot of expenses and offsetting revenues. Just to go over a few of those, the Hurricane Helene, we are still paying our contractor that is helping us with our reimbursements. We will get this $25,000 back with FEMA. There was $1,000 needed for drug and alcohol testing. $44,845 is for a sheriff's vehicle that was approved in another meeting. The senior citizens collected $2,358 and some trip revenues. So we're just balancing the revenue and the expenses. They also received $73 and a contribution. There was an amendment to planning and zoning for a part-time person for $35,559. The sheriff received some funds from Back the Blue of $5,735. There was a charge for $43,184. We had to pay some money to the IRS for arbitrage for the monies we collected on the TAN interest that was earned. Tory Battle's truck was totaled, and we're having to replace it after insurance. The cost is $42,255. There was a local match of $156,640. This was needed for the Wrightsboro Road project for engineering cost and admin cost. There's some repairs that we put in here for $194,493 for government-wide buildings. City of Town of Deering Internet $4,500. The City of Thompson Internet $8,800. Those are going to be reimbursed, so it's just a recording of the expense and the revenues. And on the other side, you'll see revenues collected, interest earnings from the LGIP account of $55,000. The senior citizens contributions and fees, as we discussed, the Town of Deering reimbursement for $82,602 is we billed them for a road that we had paid for Printup Street, and they are reimbursing us along with their internet cost. The private donation for the sheriff is $57.35. There's condemnations of $8,000. And the general fund is going to, because of some revenues received, we're going to be able to reduce some transfers for 911 of $15,873, along with some additional revenues from the fire department of $28,223. The next set is the city's floss of $1.5 million. This is what we anticipate to collect for the city's part of their floss, and we're going to pay it back out. The next set is for probate court for vital records of $11,678. This was something the board approved in a prior meeting for the probate judge. The next set is for $130,150. This is for the Development Authority. We are paying some expenses for them, and then we are billing them back for those expenses. So it's actually just a wash. Prior year taxes that we collected from the digest for last year, $2,988,834. We're going to recognize those revenues, but we're going to hope to be able to transfer those back to reserves at the end of the year. The 911 fund received $15,873 from Glasscock County. We're no longer receiving these revenues, but this was the final payment. There was a CHIP grant for $24,233. This was the last reimbursement that we received. We just want to record those revenues and expenses. There is an amendment of $3,144,855 for the broadband grant. We did not budget because we thought the project would be completed in 2025. For the small grant fund, Stephanie Walker received a grant for $10,000. So we just want to record the revenues and the expenses. There's an ARPA grant of $350,000. This is for audiovisual equipment for our Tune circuit. We are the fiscal agent, so we're just recognizing those revenues and those expenses. And there was a cybersecurity grant of $67,410. The county received the funds for that grant this year, and we're accounting for those revenues. The next set of amendments for the fire department. There's external billing for $225,000 for Warren and Glasscock County. We're no longer providing that service, but there is a runoff and collections of receivables for things that the county's already billed for them. The fire had an insurance reimbursement for $7512, a surplus sale that we did last year that needs to be transferred over to the fire department, $11,711. There's billing fees of $12,000 to record. So all these revenues reduce the amount general fund needs to provide to this fund by $28,223. And in that fund, they do need additional $3,000 for merchant fees. The next amendment is Fund 327, which is SPLOST 5. This was for an ad that we have to advertise in the paper, $312. For Fund 328, that is the same ad that was paid for the advertisement of $351. Fund 345, $31,878 was received in addition to what we budgeted. Fund 540, Solid Waste now has a credit card machine, so we're recognizing $2,400 in merchant fees to be collected along with the expense. Fund 555 is the campgrounds. Big Heart, we did put a credit card machine there as well. We're recognizing $100 in merchant fees along with the expense. And the last amendment is Fund 256, which is the transportation. Director Walker received $57,798 from DOT, which is gonna be used for the roof at that building. So there's an offsetting expense for $57,798. Does anyone have any questions on any Pacific Amendment?
Is there a motion to approve is there a motion to approve these budget amendments?
And I'll add in this resolution approves this budget amendment, and as we discussed the other night, it also authorizes administration and finance to make transfers from the reserve account to balance our cash flow as we've done in the past.
Thank you.
I move for approval.
Vice Chairman Wilson,
I'll second.
seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 16 is consideration to approve FY 2027 budget calendar. This was discussed the other night. 2027 budget policy. Is there a motion for approval?
So move.
Vice Chairman Wilson. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Favors, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 17, consideration to approve multifunction copier lease.
That's just the Pollock thing, that's the Pollock. right?
Yes, sir. That's with Pollock. That's who is existing now. As discussed in the work session, we did do our due diligence and searched other state contracts. And even with Pollock not being on the state contract, they're still well below the state contract prices. So we're recommending continuation.
So move staff recommendation.
Commissioner Favors, is there a second?
Second.
Vice Chairman Wilson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 18, consideration to award Wrightsboro Road Sewer Phase 2. Mr. Burton?
Yes, sir. This one was handled by PPI. It was not done in-house. These bids were opened on May the 5th. There was a low bidder and a second low bidder. PPI, I shared the letter that they had written on May the 7th about some missing information that was submitted with the original bid by the low bid. They did, however, submit the required documentation after the fact. I transmitted that to PPI. One thing in question was the E-Verify number. They were unable to verify, they couldn't find the company in there. So I guess what staff needs to know is, do y'all want us to continue to work with them to make sure we can either find that they have, they're verified through E-Verify and accept the low bid and waive the technicality that they submitted documentation late, or go with PPI's recommendation and award to the next lowest one?
But I think we need to follow what our policies say. So I don't, if they didn't have it in a timely manner, so we need to move on.
And we haven't had the opportunity to do, so PPI due diligence on this company and quality of work, or just, we haven't had that opportunity either, right?
That's correct. They did not submit that at the bid opening. But they did, subsequent to that, they did submit everything that was required.
I think we need to move on. But did you make a motion for that? Were you making a motion?
Yeah.
Second.
All right, motion was made by Vice Chairman Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Favors. All in favor? Any opposed? Item number to reject the motion. What was the motion to reject the one that came after the
I need to
deadline?
make sure I'm clear on what the motion was.
To reject the one that came after the deadline, go with the lowest bidder before the policy. I think is what he was saying, was to follow the policy. And
Follow the
take,
policy, reject the one that came in late.
Okay, reject the one that came in late and then go to the next lowest on the list. That was the motion.
Right.
Okay.
All right, item number 19, discussion on emergency services funding.
This was a lengthy discussion during the work session. We discussed several options on retaining the fire fee, adjusting some of the fire fees, or the possibility of creating new special tax districts and abolishing the fire fee. There was some additional information that was requested. On the last page, there's a brief synopsis on kind of where we're at now with respect to the 5 cent per square foot and the $234 cap. We had asked GMAS to just run some quick numbers on boosting that cap to 300 in each one of those categories. And then below that are the high hazards that are collected additionally on properties that are deemed to be high hazard. So you can see the increase. I can read each one of them if you want to, but at 5 cents and $234 cap is 1.4 million. If you go up a penny, retain the same cap, you get almost 1.6 million. And if you go to 7 with the same cap, it's 1.75 million. If you leave the square footage price alone and adjust the cap only, you net around another 20-something thousand dollars. Again, on the 6, you're getting about another $20,000 on the collection. So that's kind of how the fire fee, if y'all choose to keep the same fire fee and adjust those rates and caps. Now, obviously, we can work this in any other thing, but this was the quick one to do.
So these are the breakdowns of just the fire fee. Do you have anything on the millage yet? We don't have,
Well, what I presented the other
The other
night
night,
was, roughly, a millage equivalent, and that's taking the fire fee collection and the transfer from the general fund, combining those and more or less converting that to a mill rate. So in 23, you were right at 2 mills. In 24, you were at 2.14. At 25, you were at 2.81. And at 26, we're looking at 2.34, a 7.9 to be exact. So that's roughly what the contributions from the fire fee and the transfer from the general fund. That's what it equates to in a millage equivalent. There will be some variation. I probably should have said this the other night. There would be some variation because, as you remember with the fire fee, it affects all properties. If you go to a millage rate, then properties are exempted. I did run that number, and exempt properties on the fire fee basis, that's around $215,000. So those numbers would be adjusted somewhat depending on the exempt properties in each of those tax districts.
I'd like to make a motion based upon where we are and what's happening in litigation across the state and the movement of many of our counties toward the tax districts, and our auditor's recommendation that we move toward the creating of the tax districts and move with all deliberate speed to begin the negotiations with the IGA and to move to the millage rate would roughly be somewhere around 2.3, and then with the exemption property, right?
And once we discuss with each jurisdiction, and if we use just the gross digest value, we compute all the costs that fire is now and see where their digest values is. So millage rates, just understand, could be different for each of the tax districts. That's something that we'll have to, that'll take some work, but if that's the direction that
I think
We-
all
we
that
can
was
start in that
put
work.
together with a public safety committee, wasn't it? I think it needs, we need to pull the group together too. I'm sure you plan on doing that with
Yeah.
IGA, with the city and
Yeah.
Deering.
Are y'all wanting to get this done by September?
We said that could
Yeah.
be possible, yeah, by September.
Just be prepared for your cell phones to be ringing off the hook and be available to assist my office. Just be available.
So with the special tax district, this is just doing away with the fee, putting it back in the millage rate, correct?
It's one way to do it. I mean, we could just put it back in the millage rate as well, but most jurisdictions around the state are going to this special tax district to carve out. So on your tax notice, you'll see your school, your county M&O, and then whichever tax district you are. So there is a bit of more transparency with it, to folks can see exactly what percentage, what millage is assigned just for those emergency services.
Okay.
So instead of fire fee line, he's saying it'd be fire M&O instead of general fund M&O is on there, your regular maintenance and operation budget. You'll have a fire M&O instead of a fire fee.
Gotcha.
And we won't know the exact figures, but there's probably an opportunity to roll back the county M&O with the floss that we get, and going with a special tax district for fire, we can allocate future floss proceeds to that as well.
And then if we just rolled it back into the general fund, is that the way it was before?
But what he's
Abolish
saying
the
is,
fire fee and just roll it back into the general fund, and then we adjust the mill rate to compensate for it?
That's how it was, or that's another option.
But the special tax district is just more transparent. Same thing in theory.
Same thing in theory. It's rolling it back towards a millage, an assigned millage.
Okay.
If you rolled everything back into the general fund, you wouldn't see your assigned quote millage. It just all goes under the county M&O. With a special tax district, you do see your county M&O and the special tax district.
Okay.
A lot of places, elsewhere, when you see those notices, if there's a bond that you've assigned a certain millage to, that's on your tax notice. If there's, obviously for schools, and then if some places assign a certain millage towards roads, so you're able on those tax notices to put out exactly what the millage goes to.
Okay. And there was a motion. Was there a second?
I don't think so.
no second.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Holloman. All in favor?
Aye.
And this just continues the discussion of numbers and IGA and meeting with other jurisdictions.
Yeah, this gives me the authority to go ahead and start putting this stuff together. Obviously, this will come back before the board to be approved at a later date, but this gives us the go-ahead to start pulling together the negotiation documents, to take a deeper dive into this stuff, for the tax commissioner, for us to start fleshing this out on how this will look, so we can bring it back for final approval.
So is that when we decide if we're doing that by September or January?
Well, with this vote, yeah, we'll start and have everything ready in time for y'all to approve to set millage, if y'all want to do that, so it will go into effect in 27.
So we'll have further discussion in July work session.
Yeah, we'll discuss, we can discuss it more, but this just goes ahead and so we can prepare putting everything together for final
If we
approval.
plan on starting it in September, do we need to go ahead and say that now, or?
Well, what he's saying is, or she's saying she has to know by September to have it on the bills for the November,
It's gonna
December
be-
bill.
Yeah, it depends when the digest gets ready, but I mean, hopefully bills will be out by September 10th or 11th, so all of this is gonna have to be settled prior to September 1st. So,
and we can get it done and in effect by September 1st, or I say we, you guys?
We'll obviously have to adjust our budget calendar. I think we can unless there's some sort of pushback from other jurisdictions. I may have to trim down the time because there was a whole month in there. I was going to allow department heads to work on their budget because I think in the past it only given 2 weeks. We can shorten that window up, and that backs our millage rate date back up. So it'll be an accelerated schedule, but I think it is doable. There's plenty of resources out there that we can enlist to help. So we can have this set up.
And we can decide on that next month, or?
Well, we'll have to approach each jurisdiction and start negotiating the IGA. So I'll put all that stuff together and then approach those jurisdictions. And then I can report back at the next work session. So this could be approved. It's June. Y'all could approve the resolution to create these tax districts if everything goes well by August. It's going to take some work to get everything, because obviously everybody's going to have some questions how we do this. So if we can get that done by August and then get the millage set and get it over, is that timeline? I know it's tight.
I gotta talk with Gina after
Okay.
TCS, and then the state's gonna have to create a code for us.
Right.
So, I mean, I'll send some emails out when I get back to the office. I mean, it's gonna
But
be-
this
it's
just
gonna
gives us the
be
green light to start down the
tough.
road, and then we can report back to y'all. And I can have a report at the next board meeting in a couple of weeks and kind of tell you if we're foreseeing any roadblocks.
Okay.
All right, so motion was made by Commissioner Favors, seconded by Commissioner Holloman. All are in favor. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Can I make a motion to go into an executive session regarding personnel?
There's a motion by Commissioner Holloman. Is there a second to go into executive session?
Second.
Commissioner Favors.
Intergovernmental agreement.
Probably should have been.
Is there gonna be action?
Yeah, in the future, but it's all right.
Oh.
That's all we get.